All right.
Unknown caller.
Hello. Yeah, hold on a second. I just started.
So anybody's done shows so far other than me?
Nope. I'm just waiting to find out.
I did Beaux-Arts, not this weekend, but the one before.
How that went?
Well, I thought it was freezing cold, but
Oh,
I
it
thought
was.
it was really busy. There were a lot of people. Some people did really well. I did okay, but some people, they did really well. So that's the first time, I've done that. So, but I kind of like the location because you've done that, right, Oscar?
Yeah.
I kind of liked where it was on the school.
They put it back in school, or they have it in the stadium like last year?
It was on a parking lot, like in front of on the street where the subway is, or not the subway, but where the train is. It was right next.
Yeah, next to the court.
Yeah.
Yeah. They started doing that last year because of the university had problems with the COVID and they didn't want to have the student getting infected, yada yada yada.
Oh.
But it's location, I think it's easier to get in and out of there than the previous location. So
Yeah, I think the people were saying it's like the first art fair for them, and then there's one more, and then Coconut is the big one. So, but I think everybody was excited to get out, and they seemed to like that it was colder, so they didn't really mind. But I was freezing. I didn't really bring enough warm clothes down here for this really cold stuff. So I'm glad it's getting warmer.
yeah, I learned that last year that I brought you had your gear when you come down from the cold. Anyhow, you had your winter coat and everything else. But I learned to bring at least 1 week worth of jeans and thicker socks with me and more layers. Like this morning, I had to use a sweater because it was really cold where I am right now. It was like 50 degrees this morning.
But the shows you've done, they've been okay, Oscar?
Yeah, the only that I have bad, it was the first show.
Mm-hmm.
And every single other show has been good so far. So the next two was good, and this one was really good. So
I'm glad to hear it because I mean, I just get concerned with the economy and and all that. So
I got to tell you, after the first shows, I was thinking that was the case, but I think that after the last two, I don't think so. But I had to adjust my prices a little bit. I had to bring it down a little bit down because of the area. But I don't have people banging me down neither, so it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
where were you, Oscar?
pretty good.
Where were you? Where was the last show?
Naples.
Oh, you're down in Florida. Okay.
Naples in between. And it was kind of the first day, some people, the second day was really good for most people. So I think that everybody walked out of there happy.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Did you do the New Year's show?
No, I didn't get into that one. I didn't get anything with the art center. Even the last one I got waitlisted, but already doing Bayou City, so that was like a whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I was talking to some artists that did that one, and They did a lot better at the Naples New Year's than the other shows. I think one might have done Bonita. And I think they said that it was a really good show. But it seemed to me like it didn't look the same, you know, I guess because it's a different guy. It wasn't as well put together. It just seemed like there were a lot of there might have been a lot of empty spaces.
And
I just, in Naples New Year. I don't know. It just didn't look the same like it usually does because we've been just going to it for years, and I don't know. This year it looked really different.
Was it because of weather?
no, it's a new guy. It was a shit show from what I heard.
Yeah, they didn't let people put up the pop-up tents. So we were talking to one lady who runs a charity, and she couldn't even do it because they wouldn't allow the tents. You know, they wouldn't allow those people to put up the tents, and yeah, I don't know. It just seemed a little off from other
You
years.
you would think they would take care of those details ahead of time too.
Well, I don't think they let anybody know till the last minute, because I was talking to Mark Roshner yesterday at he was at Fleshman Park, and I think he said they didn't let people know until like right before. So they didn't have time to buy anything, and I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
but you know, Sharon said that to us, that they was not going to give any permits to the area until December. So, so it was not like I don't know what people was panicking about it. And quite honestly, from what I understand, most cities in Florida don't get the permits for the show until the month before the show. So it's not uncommon to see that happen down here.
Did they say why they wouldn't allow the pop-ups? Because it sounds like a mixed show. It doesn't sound like it's all like professional crafting if they've got charity booths.
Well, something happened. I don't know if it's a new promoter. Something happened that they also don't want people like putting too many tables on the sidewalks. They can't hang like flags on the streets anymore. There's like a whole bunch of stuff. So they wouldn't let the street shut down before like 6 o'clock in the morning. And the tent people said, we can't do it. We have to start earlier. So that was the whole deal. The city wouldn't let them set up the tent at 3 in the morning like they needed to. So they said, well, we can't do it. And they pulled out at like the last minute when they found out that. So, but yeah, I'm not sure what's happened as far as everything else though. Cause yeah, I heard something about the tables, like they can't put tables and chairs certain places for the restaurants, and I don't know.
Yeah, but really commercialized, and the people that have a big say it is the commercial people, not the art center. So, but we'll see. I just know that probably I won't apply to those shows anymore. So, that's my take on.
I know downtown San Diego had some sort of a street fair going on. I had to go down there for a meeting, and they blocked off streets in one direction and then allowed cross traffic through. But it seemed to be a mixture of art and commercial stuff. I mean, buy, sell, it looked like there was a jeweler set up next to somebody selling sports jersey and hats, which, you know, I felt kind of bad for the jewelry person. I didn't get close enough to see if she had, you know, import jewelry or whatever, but her setup looked fairly professional from, you know, as far as away as I was.
Yeah, it seems like I've seen a lot of jewelers with a lot of maybe things on cards, but they're like on tables where it's just like so much jewelry. So I mean, I don't know about jewelry, but I was wondering if those were all buy sell people, because it was just so much displayed. I was like, how do you possibly make all this stuff? It was just like rows and rows.
Well, I have enough to do that with, but that's because I've been doing it for 20 some years and don't throw anything away.
Yes.
So, but you know, there's definitely a difference because I don't have two of the same. Or most of
I
them
guess
buy sell people, they have, you can buy 10 alike for your bridesmaids or whatever.
And then you could also look at prices too.
Yeah, well,
Right.
I don't know, some people seem to jack up their prices no matter what. And I've seen people selling things that I've seen on AliExpress, so as if it was handmade. And it's not because they were the original doing it and AliExpress, stole their pictures, which happens, but it's not fun to have to compete with them.
I understand.
I just came back from Carefree Arizona show. It's an
Oh.
art show
Oh,
and
Yeah.
and it went really well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great.
So we were wondering if the economy had been affecting people in the past in some of the other shows, but not in this show. What we found is almost to a T that people would come through, look at our items, ask the price, and go off, come back and purchase it after they had
Yeah.
looked at everything. And I like that because that means they were an informed purchaser. And other than, you get one or two that come through and say, can I get it for 25% off or whatever? Like,
like why?
well, the opposite happens. I just raise the price then.
Yep.
So
You can tell them, well, I'll take it with a wholesale license and proof of business selling this, and you have to buy X amount.
Oh,
I don't want
wholesale
to
is
say
for
that.
resale. I mean, wholesale is to resell,
Yeah,
not for personal use.
yeah, yeah. Well, if they want to, buy it wholesale and then pay their taxes on it later themselves, that's fine. But they have to meet price and or item number and have a official something to say that it's, not for their self. Or
It's easy to just say no.
Yeah,
yeah, you could do that.
I
But
just say
others
no.
sort of
Or
shuts them up. Like, okay, I'll sell it to you for that if you have a wholesale, or resale license certificate and a business card. For some, not for
Interesting.
Joe's Plumbing to buy jewelry, but unless you can prove. Well, somebody got a local bead store in a lot of trouble because, yeah, she had a number, but it was for a pool supply business.
Oh,
Oops.
So when they turned in their sheets, and this was before the internet, you could look it up and see that, oh, it's Joe's Pool Supply and not Joe's Jewelry. And they had a major fine because they sold to her with that, resale certificate.
Yeah, once upon a time, I used to have a resale certificate just for buying materials, though.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they don't care. Well, California doesn't care as long as they get their, shekels some way or other, either from you or from somebody who buys from you. I just paid mine this morning. They've made it really easy finally. So it's online. It took me like 15 minutes, and part of that was changing my password to the account because they want a new one from you every year.
Yeah.
But
Doreen, what do you do?
I make jewelry. Yeah.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
there's three of us on here now, at least.
I'm a Jew. That's why.
Oh, okay. They were very clear. Someone had, I think, pottery, and they had jewelry in their pottery booth. And they said that you have a choice right now to either take it all down or take the whole booth down or take your jewelry out of the booth.
Oh, good.
They probably called it mixed media.
I have no idea. I just know that one of the other vendors came running down and said, "You won't believe what just happened." And they didn't have, they kept the number of jewelers down. Usually they have a lot of jewelers, right? And this one was very limited. So it was a good show.
That is fantastic. I love when shows do that.
Right.
You don't see that much anymore, where they will actually say, take it out. You didn't jury in with it. You juried in under whatever. But, oh, I love it. If you're going to sell jewelry, you have to jury in under the jewelry category as well as whatever else you're selling.
A lot of the places don't seem to follow that.
No, but it's my dream.
So I was surprised to see that how they walked around first thing in the morning, I guess, and looked at everyone's work and made
Good.
sure and I think they all had to have white tents, all the criteria that they had. And they made sure you were following it, otherwise you had to leave. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
you don't see that too often. But
No, you don't.
it is a kind of a high end, I only brought high-end jewelry to the show. I didn't bring anything inexpensive, nothing $100.
And was the weather good there too?
It was cold.
Oh,
Well,
Right,
it
it's-
was like 50.
oh, that is really cold there.
Yeah, but the sun was shining it was a 3-day event. It was cloudy on Friday and sunny on Saturday and Sunday, which was good for the customers
Mhm.
because they could be out in the sun. For us, it was a little chilly. And they said usually it's not this cold there. This is the first time I've gone there.
Mhm.
And but we had checked the median price of homes there and they're like 1.4 million. So we thought that they probably would be good purchasers,
Mhm.
and walked away with several commissions.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I hope the other shows coming up do the same thing.
Right. We never know, right? I mean,
No, you don't.
but I'm glad to hear it, just considering everything, financially in the news and all that. So,
Right. Yeah, and people were in really good moods. They were very positive, talking about the jewelry and life. So it was a really nice weekend.
good.
We
Well,
need more.
the reservoirs are filled up, so people are happy again. Not
Yeah.
worried about whether they have to leave because there's no water. There's one community right outside Scottsdale that has no water. They have to
Yeah.
truck it in, and now they're, the city's
That-
no longer providing it.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
I
a
read
political
about that.
thing.
Yeah,
Sounds like they resolved that issue over the weekend when
Oh,
we were
good.
there.
Well, yeah, the reservoirs are 80% capacity now. So,
It was green, the
Yeah,
desert
yeah,
was
it
green.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. So anyway, it was a good event. We hope the rest of events follow.
I love hearing good news.
Yep.
Don't we all?
So what else is going on, folks?
Comic
I
Con
think
art show applications are supposed to come out this week. So, right now, the lawyers are looking at them. So whatever that means.
Okay,
Because now that Comic Con is like officially incorporated or whatever, the lawyers have to look at everything before it can be published.
okay.
Oh, interesting.
I think somebody's talking to someone else. Like who's not that's not muted. Do you hear that?
I hear something in the back, sounds like Oscar maybe.
No, that's not me.
Are you? Okay.
That's Larry. Blame it on the host. You want to get it? Well, you're more than welcome.
Well, I have good news, but
Oh.
if you don't know the show, Oscar will know, but you won't really understand my total excitement. I run a little show here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, called the Garage Sale Art Fair. It's for art fair artists to sell their overstock and seconds and things they've traded for, no longer love, and things like that. And it's coming up in February. And we have found someone to take it over.
Oh, that's great.
All right.
And it's a nonprofit organization called the Guild of Artists and Artisans. They run the Ann Arbor Summer Art Fair and a whole bunch of other shows. I have been on their board. I've done their shows. I dearly love them.
You're talking about the Michigan Guild.
Well, that's what they used to be called. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's great news, Bonnie.
I am thrilled. So they
Wow.
will take it over. They have promised the artists and everything that they're not going to change a thing because, and whether that they're able to hold to that or not, but I'm so excited. So that was my big news of the day. I can finally tell people.
So
Congratulations.
that will be
Great.
next year.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's sad news. That's not good news.
Well, then that means you have nothing to complain about anymore.
Me?
No, fine.
Not,
You always going to have to complain, but Larry.
Oh, ouch. Do you, do you need some ice for that burn or what?
It's I love her. Don't get me wrong. She said,
yeah. But it's a good deal because, you know, medically, I can't handle it anymore.
Oh,
As I'm finding out this year.
yeah.
That's great.
Yep. Thrilled.
Well, now you can go walk the show and look at everybody and say hi to everybody.
You bet. I'm going to enjoy being on the other side of it. And this is my baby. I mean, I take it all just so personally. So this will be fun.
Congratulations.
They'll do a great. So, yes. So that's my big news. What's everyone else's news? It doesn't have to be big. It can be little. Little is good.
I'm just waiting. My
Well,
work
in
is in Florida, but I'm not. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt someone.
Oh no, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was
That's
just
okay.
gonna say little news is I'm doing my first festival of the year in Indio, California. So hopefully it's a good one.
Oh,
Is that
Wonderful.
is that Southwest Festival of the Arts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Have
did
you done
that.
that one before?
Yeah, a long time ago.
See, that's pretty much what I've heard every time I talk to someone. They're like, yeah, I did it a while ago. And I was like, well, hopefully it's still
Right.
good now. It's the only thing I saw in January.
Right. I did it once, and I wanted it to be good because it was real. I wanted it to be adequate because it was really easy. But it was pretty quiet as far as crowds go. So, but it was so long ago, probably more than 10 years ago. So who knows? I mean, you get snowbirds from Canada. So I mean, it's good that it's not last year where it was probably harder to get here from Canada, but I imagine they're still coming back now. And they had the executive bathroom, outdoor bathroom, like the porta potties, but they were more like regular bathrooms. That was a big thing.
Oh yeah, the super fancy ones. Yeah, we seem to like
Yes.
to do that on the West Coast. I don't know. They're like you changed a trailer into full bathroom. That's what they look like.
Well,
So
actually,
they're much fancier than porta
other West Coast shows, like Kings Mountain, always had the regular porta potties, but they kept them clean. But which was, that was
Different.
Hey, it's always fun when you got a bathroom that doesn't make you think that a gas station could be better.
that's right. Bathrooms are very important.
Amen.
There's a proposal from our, I don't know, city rep at the state level to undo the ban against pay toilets. Right now, you can't charge for using one. And that, they said, is behind needing a lot more in public spaces because they can't afford to put them up. So
And where is that?
San Diego
Oh,
representative to the state legislature.
so they tried those toilets that they were self-washing.
I
know if
don't know if that does well, but it's not so much the toilet itself, it's the rest of the bathroom that's the problem.
Right. Yeah, in San Francisco they tried, and I don't know what ever happened with it.
I don't think they worked properly or they were used too much and got jammed up or something.
Right.
I thought that was such a great idea.
Why?
Right.
Well, it costs money to keep them clean and stocked. And
But otherwise, but then you have people going on the street. That's the other option.
Yeah.
Or in the
They
booths
were
at night.
proposing a 25% usage fee so they could replace the toilet paper and paper towels and such.
The problem with that is I never carry any money with me.
Yeah, well, on the street don't have it either. And it was suggested that tokens be distributed to the street people so they could use the
Yes,
facility.
That's a good idea.
I think it's yeah.
But it still doesn't solve the problem of keeping it stocked, because some people they'll take the rolls of toilet paper with them.
Right.
So
Yeah, we used to carry our own.
Yep.
Well, in Japan, at least while we were there, you still had to carry your own, and that was one of the advertising giveaways, is a little pack of personal paper.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
it looked like those little pocket packs of Kleenex or whatever, but
Yeah, we had the same thing when I lived there. But men would just go to the bathroom outside on the sidewalk.
yeah, well, it was legal there to do that. And
Yeah.
these trucks all of a sudden pull over and stop, and the guy would hop out, do his business on the free, and then get back in his truck.
Yep,
And girls everywhere just jealous we can't do that easy.
Yeah,
that's right.
Same in Germany.
Okay.
and the Japan had the squatty potties too.
The hole in the ground?
Well, it
Yeah.
wasn't exactly a hole. It looks sort of like a urinal laid flat on the floor.
Oh. When I was,
That
in-
It's so different.
yeah, when I was in Russia, the public bathrooms just had holes in the floor.
Even in Paris, I remember being in a wine shop and they had a bathroom like that. I opened the door, kind of screamed in horror in my head, closed it, and then went back out and didn't drink anymore.
America, we're just used to different things.
Oscar, what did you do last weekend?
Naples Invitational.
And
It was really good.
good.
It was really good. No complaints. I still did break the 5 figures, but it's fine with me.
Excellent.
No, it was good. I have a really good good show overall. Only had one idiotic comment through the whole weekend, but even the name, even it was going like a so it was a good show. I think that everybody did. Saturday, a lot of people was a little scared. Sunday, everybody walk out of there happy. So it was a good show overall for everybody. So
Good.
I got a couple of friend painters that did close to the 20,000, 2 different ones.
Wow.
So it's not like and you know, I keep thinking that we're not going to know anything about the economy until the summer. So, but right now people are spending money, and there's a lot of people buying houses down here that was taken homes, and I ship a couple of pieces to New York and another Philadelphia and one to Virginia. So
And where's down here to you, Oscar?
right now, the last show was Naples, Florida.
Ah.
You know, I did Sarasota. That was bad. Then I did Bonita. Bonita was good. And then Naples balanced out the bad of Sarasota. But even as last week, I was ahead from last year already. So even with the bad Sarasota, because last year, the weekend before was a tornado weekend in Florida. So all the show was just one day. And I was in Boards last year, and the show was closed on Sunday. So I didn't make basically no money. Then I did images, and images the whole weekend was in 30 degrees for the entire weekend, basically.
Whoa.
So, but I'm happy, you know. I'm really happy if the show goes. This show with Patty that I'm doing this weekend goes well. Like I start paying off the credit cards and get myself back into stable ground for me. I'm like I'm back where basically what I want to be, not in the edge of something goes wrong, I'm screwed. So
Yep.
because I got into more shows that I was expecting, and there's a lot. The booth fees are not cheap. You know, even this one with Patty, she let me pay it late, and that was $625.
Ooh.
I had to pay. San Antonio was $600. What else I had to pay? Belleville, another $650.
I've
And
been I've been contemplating, excuse me, Park City, the booth fee is like $850.
What?
And yeah, I don't understand why it's that expensive.
the
But
problem, Allison, if you do it, you're brand new, they're going to put you on top of the hill.
no, I've done that show like 5 times, but not since 2011.
Oh, wow.
So, and if you want to request a spot, it costs money now. It used to be not that expensive. It's fairly inexpensive to stay there because there's tons of condos. But you know, the question is anybody gonna, you know, the last time I mean, it's always been a very mixed show as far as quality of work, like really, really excellent quality, and then things that shouldn't be at any craft fair. So I don't know. I mean, the last year I did it, I was next to something called Skeezels, and this guy took skis and hooked them together and made these easels, and his whole like friends and family, they all had t-shirts made and they were hawking outside the booth to sell these things. And you know, it's just one of those, here's a local person they wanted to put in the show.
Is that common? for
How long did it
shows
take you to
have-
find your stride at that show? How many
Wait,
years?
pardon?
I said, how many years did it take you to find your stride with your customers at that show? You said you did it
That's-
5 times.
Yeah, that show actually, when I first did it, it was really excellent. People more so bought my all gold pieces. And then it kind of fizzled down, which is unusual. Usually it's the opposite. It's like starts slow and then you build up.
Yeah.
So, but somebody else was also saying something.
I had a question, is how often does a show have like different criteria for local artists versus not local?
That's a good question. I think it varies from show to show. I think, oh, there was which application I was filling out, they wanted to know if you were from the state. So you might get an extra point if you're from that region for
It
some
might
shows.
have to do with sales taxes too.
Well, that did surprise me at Park City last year, the sales tax.
Yeah.
I take orders for a lot of my work and ship it. And everything I've always read is sales tax is based on point of delivery, not point of sale, except Park City.
Oh,
They were adamant that they wanted everything. So yeah, I was a little surprised because other states where I'm shipping to also expect sales tax.
right. That's, yeah. Well, and then there's like, for me, I might have a scenario where somebody's interested, but I can't take an order because I have to show them stones and there's a back and forth. And so I probably wouldn't even get a deposit until I'm back in my studio and they're back home, you know? So the sale, I guess, technically would not have happened there, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it was just
That's-
strange. They were adamant it was sales tax based on point of transaction, not point of
Right.
delivery. Where when you buy anything online, post 2019, sales tax is based on your destination.
Yeah, and that's by law. So I don't know.
Yeah, Wayfair versus South Dakota. But I got nowhere with them. I just wrote them a nice, healthy check and talked to a couple other states and said, you know what? It's not worth fighting over it. If it does turn into a problem, you paid the sales tax to them, they demanded it, and you won't be penalized. We'll just have to have you amend theirs to get your sales tax back and send it to us. But they said pretty much don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Texas, Florida.
Tell them you didn't sell anything.
Well, there's proof as if there's credit cards. But yeah, but I do think some shows do add points if you're local, and I can't think of what shows offhand because a lot. Oh,
Fort Worth, I think, has that. Fort Worth has a local bonus.
Well,
I think also
Fort Worth, Cherry Creek is the only show with an emerging artist category that's nationwide. All the other shows, their emerging artist category is local.
oh, well, Chicago just added. Old Town just added one for this year. I don't know if it's local or nationwide.
Right.
I hadn't even considered that.
State
I have to go
College.
actually. So
Well, I was going to say
Sorry.
State College has a section for Center County residents.
Mhm.
That's like a side street in the main show. because it's in Center County.
Bye, Allison.
I gotta go to the dentist. I realized the time.
Oh,
Nope.
fun.
Yikes.
Have fun.
Bye.
I was talking
Right.
to a person that lives in Minneapolis this weekend, and she highly recommend to skip Uptown because although it got worse with the businesses around there, like the restaurant that I used to go to eat, which is a high-end restaurant in the area, is gone. So she said, like, I'm not even bothered to do it Uptown Affair because you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, but you know, the people come out specifically for that show.
I had a
My
quick
fir-
question. How many shows, like on average, do you guys do for the ones that have been doing it for a while? Like I know I did 26 shows last year, and that just kind of feels like a lot.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
is
lot.
That is a lot. I do
Good.
13, 14, 12, 13.
But
And
it
that's a
depends.
lot for me.
When I was running, I was doing 40 shows a year.
Oh, so it's not a lot to you.
I try to do between 20 and 24.
See, I
When
feel
I
like the
was-
West Coast just doesn't have the shows that everywhere else has.
Right. I
Yeah.
should say when I was younger, I used to do 40 shows a year.
But it still depends how much money you make and how much money you need. You know, if you can get away doing just 14 shows and cover all the bills and put money in a bank, do just 14 shows. You know,
Mhm.
that's
Okay.
the way to do. You know, the main thing is to find your market and do the shows that pays. And if you don't get to a show, you be willing to do 2 shows and instead of that one to make up for the ground. But you know, the less show you do, the better it is, to be honest with you. If I can get
Because
away,
then it leaves more time for art. The fun parts of the job.
Well,
I'll be happy.
for me, it really, as a one-person studio, as a jeweler, there was only so much I could make. So
Come on.
12 shows was kind of as much as I could stack.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem too. I do my own printing and laminating for photography, my own framing. I burn my own frame stock out of wood. So there's a limit to how much I can get done between shows. And you know, going on the
Yeah.
road is always tough too, because after 3 weekends, I've got to get home and make product that I've sold.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it takes time.
It's also depends. You know, like I do metal prints, so basically I can just drop everything, drop ship everything. But that's depends how you want to do your business. And
Well, I'm a little bit particular. I've tried commercial labs for photography, and I had one company. It was quite frightening to listen to their process. And another company, and I'm out of Denver. Another company, I did send a job to them. It was a 30 by 90, and they had to do it 9 times.
Oh my God,
Oh.
9
Definitely.
times.
Oh.
Their definition of flawless and mine were 2 different things. And I told them the price. I called them up and said, "Price this for flawless work. I will be extremely particular." Oh yeah. So we're flawless all the time. They failed every which way but loose. So,
Ah.
and I've sent some to the big labs and that the photographers, you know, use kind of countrywide, and their color profiles are crazy, and you know their attention to detail is off. So I don't know. I just decided to do it myself and do my own quality control, more kind of like the rest of you artists. I'm an anomaly for a photographer. You know, I send very little out.
We tend to be fussy.
We do.
It's our work.
Yeah. I
My
have a
lab,
question. So when everybody goes on the road, I have a friend. He's in North Carolina, and he's got some Florida shows coming up. And he called me the other day and said, "My truck is throwing error codes like crazy. He pulls a trailer. He's trying to figure out how to get to his Florida shows. He doesn't think he can get his vehicle repaired in time with, where things have gone. So what have you guys done when all of a sudden your vehicle dies?
Rent a van.
Rent. That's it. Rent.
Rent a
Enterprise.
U-Haul,
Enterprise.
Whatever.
Enterprise. Well, he's got to pull a trailer. So
Yeah, but
They have trailers. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they have trucks.
yeah.
Vans. Yep.
Yeah, I thought we talked about U-Haul and renting a van there.
The problem, I would go. I think the problem with U-Haul is they charge you by the mile.
Oh yeah, that's what he said. It was $2,200 for 2 shows.
yeah, Enterprise is cheaper.
Enterprise.
So Enterprise.
Or even the Penske and Home Depot.
Can Home Depot, can you pull a trailer with a Home Depot truck?
I think so.
It depends on the Home Depot, because the ones near us are real small trucks.
No, but I'm talking at least in Chicago, they got like at the transits and the box trucks also. And I don't think that they charge you by the mileage, but I think to play it safe, it will be Enterprise to go.
I'm sending him a text right now.
Yeah. And when you do Enterprise, tell him that whatever you do, you're not crossing, that you're going to stay in the state. You're not going to be crossing the state lines. Just to let you know.
So he can't tell them he's correct, because he will be. He's going from North Carolina to Florida. Don't tell him.
Don't say.
Okay.
So
Just do
is
it.
it work in going in the truck or in the trailer?
Trailer. He's got a tandem axle trailer. Probably weighs about 5,000 pounds. He's a little heavier than I am. I weighed about 4,500. So
why does he? Okay, he needs a
Why
truck.
does he need,
Well,
if he's renting a truck, why does he need a trailer? That's what.
he has a trailer. The trailer is fine. The truck is throwing all kinds of error codes, flashing lights. It's running horrible. He's called all the dealers in the area. Well, we can't get to you till middle of February.
Yeah, typical.
Yeah. So he's got to rent a vehicle, and that's why I asked, what do you guys do? So Enterprise came through loud and clear.
Yeah.
Hey, but why doesn't he rent something that he can put everything from the trailer into?
He checked with a U-Haul, and as somebody mentioned, the mileage charges were for doing 2 shows. I think it was maybe 10 or 12 days. It was $2,200 rental.
Right, but check Enterprise.
Yeah. So
It
that
would
was
be
U-Haul.
better- It would
Yeah,
be
but I
better
mean,
than
it depends on
pulling
how much he
trailer.
normally grosses. 2,200 might not be a lot.
Well,
Yeah.
He's only done 4 shows, so
Now,
Oh,
still
baby.
finding his way.
he might stay
Oh.
home then.
Yeah, well, that was one of his
Yeah.
options. Yeah.
Welcome to the life of doing art fairs.
Well,
Hey, he could go there and it could rain.
and I
Doing art
suggested
fairs and
rent a
just
small,
panhandling.
rent a small passenger van, pull the seats out, go with 1 tent instead of 2, and
Oh, absolutely.
but photographers, we like our double booths.
Now,
It's all about wall space. I saw a guy that had 4 booth spaces at one show.
Oh, you're
what
4.
show would let him in with 4 spaces?
That was Fountain Hills down in Arizona.
oh wow.
He had a quad setup. It was huge. And then there's some photographers, they always try to do a double. And then they have these, what do they call them, these little rooms you add on the back or the side.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple that are just notorious for somehow a 10 by 20 turns into the 20 turns into like 30, because they'll put 5 feet on each side, and then they'll go 5 feet back in addition.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not there. I live in my 10 by 20. I stay in my ballpark.
You're ahead of me.
Oh.
And I've been
Show directors will love you.
Yeah. Well, I try to ask questions rather than beg forgiveness. I ask first. And what do they want?
Thank
That
you.
seems to work the best.
They will love you.
Sit down, come on.
Yeah.
funny. Steve, you saw that Steve is coming out of it's going to be coming down in 2 weeks.
Yes. Isn't that something?
Yep. I'm going to help me to do the first shows that he has in Naples. I'm going to put the time for him up. And that's going to be interesting. He was joking with me and I was just laughing laughing out loud. I said, like, you must be kidding me, right? He said, like, I'm going to show you how to sell it. I just start busting laughing. Yeah, whatever.
I just cannot believe his recovery.
Yeah, I know.
Just unbelievable.
Even the doctors are saying that he recovered really fast.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, but he's putting, I think, 24 hours of PT every week. So he was putting a lot of work. And he's a stubborn little bastard.
Well, he's got the main criteria needed to do art shows.
Yeah.
Uh,
And recover from a brain bleed.
Yeah.
So, okay, guys, I'm going to leave too.
It was
Wonderful
good seeing you, Bonnie.
See you, Bonnie.
You too.
Y'all take care.
I have
Take care.
another question if I can ask one.
Sure.
So I missed the jury sessions that you did. What
The
were
mock jury.
What was it? The mock juries, right? Yeah. What were the general consensus points on?
Didn't you watch it on YouTube?
No, it's on YouTube, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right. I will dig that out then.
Yeah.
Jen-
What were the main takeaways? You know.
There,
The artist
yeah, the artist statements.
is a big thing. Don't get grandiose with your artist statement. Make it clean cut, clear.
So, and with
I don't
words the
care.
jurors can understand.
Yeah, I gathered from previous conversations, stay away from the artistic descriptions and go
Yes.
more towards the process. What is it that you do?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've
Don't
heard
tell
that from you guys.
The booth
Don't tell me
pictures improved
under a
significantly from the first mock jury.
Yeah.
Oh, amazingly. Yeah, don't tell me that you sit under a tree and watch the birds come in and that's where you get your inspiration. You know, things like
Yeah. If you send me an email and put next mock jury in the subject line, I'll add you to my mail, the list I'm creating.
All right. There's
And
my typical one of. I wonder if I always have too many pictures.
well, do the
Not
mock
for me.
If the pictures have room to breathe, if people can focus on a single piece. But if you have all the pictures touching each other, they're too close together.
No, there's nothing there touching, but in my booth, I spread out more than this. This is just a jury image.
Oh, spread.
Yeah, I in my 10, this is a 10 by 10 jury image,
Well,
but
we're
in
not
my
going to tell
physical
you.
10 by 20, I put more spacing in than this.
We're not going to tell you until the mock jury.
Right.
Okay.
Was that good? Was that good for you, Larry?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now I'm leaving.
All right.
Bye.
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 You need more space, just to let you know.
Okay. I kind of heard that already, so yeah. I can definitely shrink these up.
Yeah.
Easy to do.
They're funny.
Do we have any other questions for them or anything?
Nope.
Yeah, any more questions? Inquiring photographers want to know.
Oh, remember last week we were talking about AI generated art?
Artwork? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
there's 3 artists that have gotten together and are in the process of suing because of the AI stealing their style or something.
Yeah, I read about that.
So I posted the article. It was from a financial thing on the Art Girls group on Facebook.
Yeah, the problem is the Arco for Space group doesn't. Not everybody has access to it because
Yeah, I know, but that was the one I had. I put it on the Comic Con art show Facebook page, and that's open to the public. If you want to go to that. Just Comic Con art show after the facebook.com/.
Yeah, if you use Smart News on your tablet or phone, they always have a link to that article.
Okay.
Hey, come on, Al.
Mine's sleeping today.
I'm not going to see my 3 girls until 6 weeks from now.
Oh,
I'm so enjoying my alone time.
Yeah. Lay down. Lay down.
Well, I'm going to get myself going because I need to go for dinner with some friends.
okay.
All right, Oscar.
Have
Thank you.
fun.
Have
Good
a
luck,
good show.
Thank you. Bye.
Happy trails.
So I had a quick question, Larry. Since you saw my new booth shot, when you say clean up the ground, should I just like Photoshop in grass or just get rid of the
It's up to you.
brighter brown leaves?
As long as it looks real.
Okay. I've done architecture. We know how to make it look real. Okay, and other than that, I think that's it for me for questions, at least for now.
So any other questions, or are we going to end the meeting early today?
Well, I'll say I had an observation from last year. A couple of show directors told me last year that applications were down versus the year before. I'm wondering if there was a trend, if that was a one-time deal, or what are the thoughts on that?
I think
Sounded like 30 or 40% down.
Well, I think that, well, first of all, there are a lot of artists that retired over the last couple of years. And also, a lot of these shows are giving artists that got in the previous year spaces after the pandemic.
Right.
So that means that there's fewer spaces available for some of the better shows.
No, it was comments from people that run the art shows that the number of people that paid to apply was
Right.
down
No, I understand.
significantly.
Yeah, not everybody wants to throw away their jury fee money if there are fewer spaces.
Right. Oh, okay. I see your point.
That brings another question to mind. How do you better your chances to get off a wait list? Or is it just
Call.
sit and wait?
Call.
Call? Okay.
Absolutely.
How many times?
Doesn't matter till you get in.
Until they answer.
I
Well, you
mean,
don't want to be a pest, huh?
well, sure you do,
You do.
because that puts you in their mind when they get a cancellation, for good or for bad. Back in the mid-90s, I was on the wait list for Oklahoma City, and I used to call like once a week. And
Yeah.
every week when I called, they'd say, come on, we told you last week, stop, don't call. And then after the third time, they called me back 10 minutes later saying, we just got a cancellation in your category.
Okay.
So it
Does it-
worked.
Barry
being on
just
top of the
showed
mind
up
always
a few
helps.
Times and they put him in.
What?
Wasn't it Barry who said he just showed up a few times and they let him in?
I don't know. Barry's, I think Oscar said Barry's driving right now.
Yeah,
on
I
his
know,
way.
but he had said something about,
Was
He
it
just
Barry or
went.
Ron? I don't know. With Barry, you know, it's high quality work.
yeah.
I have a question from the St. Louis mock jury. So they told me I should have a showstopper, which I'm assuming is something big. Is that what it is, or is it just something unusual, or what
Now,
is a showstopper?
no, big. But your showstopper is your booth with the big circles.
But I guess they didn't see it that way if they're telling me I need that.
Yeah, but who are they to tell you that? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I did have someone at Beaux-Arts say you need a big one, like a really big.
Well, I told you that you should go to 12-inch balls.
Yeah. It's just getting, I mean, they're just expensive. I guess I'm just the wood ones anyway.
Well, you're gonna have to start 3D printing the balls too.
People think they are when I tell them that it's 3D. I'm like, no, that's not. Okay, so you think the booth is? was
Yeah, I
just
mean, you
thinking
have a
if I
great
had
booth.
I thought if I had something like a floor, or something you could sit on the floor, or something taller.
No, not on the floor, maybe on a pedestal.
Pedestal.
I mean, that's where you would put a showstopper so it stands out from the rest.
Okay. And then the only other thing that someone told me, they said to get into the best shows, you have to do a U-shaped booth. That you can't have that wing wall that I have.
Yeah,
So do you put any weight in that? I would have to order, I don't have enough shelves. So that's why my booth is set up like it is. And my desk is behind there.
I
So
wouldn't worry about it.
no,
I don't think it's anything that you would lose points for.
okay. I don't know. Someone told me you have to have someone who gets into all the shows. He said you have to have a U shape. He said they won't put you in if you.
Who gets into all the shows?
Huh? He's a
Who?
painter. And he said, this is what you have, but he's also a really good painter. So I think he's getting in because he's of his
Right.
work. So I don't know. I'm just wondering. That's it.
I mean, there are some people in this business that have gotten into almost everything they've applied to. Even Barry has a great acceptance rate.
So what is a good acceptance rate?
Well, I don't know. What's a bad acceptance rate? I mean, I always
Zero.
tried to do a show each weekend. So I always applied to multiple shows on weekends that were questionable.
And what are your thoughts on if you get into more than one show? How do you?
Well, you play the cancellation date game.
All right, and that doesn't seem to hurt you the next time around. That
No.
they don't
No.
blacklist you because you.
No. Everybody does it.
Okay.
I mean, so you might lose a booth fee here and there, but
Yeah.
you just weigh the advantages or disadvantages of doing the show. quiet.
Guess that means it's time to go.
I guess.
All right,
Time to
thanks,
go apply for
guys.
apps. Thank you so much for all you guys' information.
All right.
Appreciate it.
See you next week.
You guys take care. Bye.
Bye. Gonka, you still there? You there?